This presentation is aimed at those parents or young people who have received a letter from the local authority finalising your EHC plan and naming a setting for next year, which you do not agree with. Local authorities must finalise plans for those transitioning to reception or secondary by the 15th of February and for post-16 by the 31st of March in the year of the move. This short presentation aims to set out your options. Send and You are an impartial service and are not affiliated with the local authority, so we will not try to persuade you in any direction. Just set out what each option is within the context of the law. If after watching this you'd like to talk through one of the options further, please get in touch with us using the details on the last slide. If you've received a letter from the local authority, they may have invited you to contact them to discuss your concerns. If you're worried or upset about the decision, which we totally understand you may well be, we would encourage you to take them up on this offer, as they have a duty to consider your views, wishes and feelings. If your child is not transitioning to reception, secondary or post-16 this year, you could consider staying in the same school. If you're approaching, but not quite at transition stage, consider if you and your child can make it work for one more year. In this case, think about your EHC plan and whether it's up to date and still accurate. Use this time to get up-to-date reports from anyone involved with your child's educational health, and if the educational psychology report is out of date, ask for a new one. It's important to make sure the EHCP is accurate, partly so that the current school can justify any requests for further funding, and secondly, to provide further evidence if you decide to request a move next year or the year after. If your child is transitioning this year, you could consider giving the named school a fair trial. We would suggest asking for a transitions meeting between the outgoing and the incumbent schools, preferably with the SENCO and possibly the head or head of year. It will be important to put transition plans in place to transfer details and information about your child from one school to the next and raise any concerns that you have. We'd suggest inviting the local authority caseworker to that meeting so that you can have discussions about how the provisions set out in section F of your plan will be delivered and any funding implications for the school. Remember, your child does have a right to a mainstream education, and schools must use their best endeavours and make reasonable adjustments for disabled pupils in order to meet their needs. You can also request an interim annual review at any time during the year if you feel that the placement is at risk of breakdown. Another option may be to consider electively home educating your child. This is a very individual decision, and if you want more information, we have a resource on our website to help you weigh up the pros and cons. My only caution would be to consider that if you decide to electively home educate, the local authority will have no legal obligation to provide the provision set out in your EHC plan. Another option, particularly if your child has been out of school for some time or struggles to attend any setting, is to have a discussion with the local authority about education otherwise than at school. This is called EOTUS. This is not the same as home education, but a bespoke package to meet the needs of your child outside of a school. Please note that the local authority don't have to agree to EOTUS unless they agree that any educational setting would be inappropriate for the child, so be prepared to provide evidence. Again, we have a resource on our website with more information about EOTUS. You could consider mediation. In fact, if you're considering appealing the decision, you must consider mediation unless you are only appealing on section I. Your letter from the local authority will provide details of the mediation company, and it may give you an opportunity to resolve issues. Your final option is to appeal the decision through the first tier SEND tribunal. Again, we have a resource on our website, or look out for one of our appeal process information sessions. If you are considering lodging an appeal, please do make sure you have your letter from the local authority specifying the reasons why your choice of school was not named and that the letter contains your right of appeal. You have 2 months from the date of the letter in which to lodge your appeal. You must consider mediation if you are appealing the content of the plan, that's sections B and F, as well as the placement section I. If you decide not to go ahead with mediation, they will send you a certificate. Or if you have mediation but still wish to appeal to the tribunal, again, they will issue a certificate. If you are only appealing Section I, you do not need to consider mediation or get a certificate in order to lodge a tribunal appeal. We would urge you to consider the timeframes if you wish to go to a tribunal appeal. We are aware that current wait times from the point of lodging an appeal to the hearing date can be up to 52 weeks, although last year the tribunal did prioritise those in a transition year, and if this is your case, then it may be expedited sooner. Please factor this into your decision-making process and also consider checking whether you may be eligible for legal aid. We hope that one of these options is suitable for you, but if after watching this and checking out our resources, you would like further information, advice or support about any of the options, please get in touch with us at sendandyou.org.uk/contact-us. Thank you.